Hey guys, what's going on? It's Filmington. Sunny morning at the card show, just about to go in. I know there's been a lot of talks recently about Magic the Gathering and how sports cards, the industry has got to get its act together in order to not follow the footsteps with Magic and everything. Well, I think a lot of us don't really understand Magic enough to understand the parallels. I know I don't. But what I have heard about Magic is that the customers have begun to boycott products. And a lot of this stuff is sitting at distributors and taking massive short-term losses because nobody's buying it. Because the customers have taken a stand against pretty much all or most of the new products, right? So personally, I don't think that the situation is as dire with sports cards. And I think we have to be careful to not conflate a significant systemic issue with a market reset. And market resets are normal. Actually, they're needed. You need a period of negative returns before or to ensure long-term growth. Negative returns are almost a necessity. You know, you've got retail on the shelves. You've got certain products that aren't doing too well. You've got an increase of products. And you've got an increase with the print run of some existing products. I think basketball and football with Panini is a little bit worse than baseball, in that maybe we were a little bit more conservative given the conditions. But Topps has rolled out a lot of new products this year. But to their credit, Topps Cosmic Chrome, which just came out, I'm pretty sure that was on the release schedule back in like February. So this is before we knew for sure that we were in like a technical recession. So it takes a while to react with the release schedule, with the print runs. I think it's not something you can really just like pivot from on a fly, and to an extent you want to react to customer demand. Okay, we printed a little bit more now. 2 quarters from now, we'll change that. We'll drop those. But again, a lot of this is part of the normal reset of the hobby, where, yes, retail wasn't easily found for some of the more desirable products on shelves during the periods of beginning of 2020 through recently, right? But I think that's more of the anomaly than the norm, where access is important. That's part of the reason for retail, is to make it accessible to everybody, to the lowest common denominator, to collectors, to families, to children. And it was never intended to really be flipped for 3 to 4x the money. And yes, it took them a little bit longer to figure that out and to increase prices and increase print runs and increase products in order for that not to be a recurring thing. But now we're back to that stage where I think it's okay for products to sit on shelves. Is it healthy for the hobby? Is it healthy for manufacturers for that to happen? Now, you don't want that to happen for all products. You don't want Prism basketball and football to be sitting on shelves for a period of longer than like 3 to 6 months. But again, we're trying to react to understand what that demand really is. And the economic conditions this year have deteriorated really quickly. So maybe the manufacturers should have better processes in place to react and be able to kind of cut print runs at short notice for products that are about to come out. But, right now they can't do that. So we're not at a point, guys. This is the big thing. We're not at a point, guys, where customers are boycotting most products. I think we're actually very far away from that, especially with baseball. Yes, I understand that Panini destroyed the Select brand. So me understanding more of the Topps situation, it insulates me a little bit from some of the madness that Panini's created. And I get how one of the fears right now is that Panini might drag the brand into the ground. Hopefully that's a short-term concern, given what a lot of people think will happen with Fanatics' involvement in those, in the short term with those licenses before they fully take them on, right? So I think the systemic issue, I think there is one. And before I talk about that, I just want to bring up product differentiation. Product differentiation is hurting Magic, it appears right now. But that is one of the things that actually really helped bring sports cards back to life. Different products, serialized cards. It was a working formula, and I don't think that's something that they should deviate from. Is the long-term, are 99.9% of cards going to be worthless in the long term? Yes, but I think we already knew that. That was always the case. That was the case in the 80s and 90s as well. Actually, it's more than 99.9% of cards that won't have any value. And it doesn't matter how much they print to make that a reality. To grow the hobby, though, one of the two things has to happen, if not both. Either more products have to come out or existing print runs have to go up for existing products. So we can't avoid that, right? You know, and you're going to understand the risks of that. We're not going to know the exact print runs because they don't publish those, but we understand generally when there's spikes in print runs and that there's more risk attached to those products once we buy them, open packs or buy the singles, and that's something we sort of have to deal with. It's just what it is. Manufacturers are always going to have a primary goal of profitability. Secondary is being accountable for the long-term sustainable success of the hobby. But number one will be meeting demand, and it'll be maximizing profits. So I think at this point, we're not in immediate danger of becoming another Magic the Gathering with regards to what's happening right now. So last thing that I'll bring up, this one's important, and it's, you know, it's something that I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, you know, breaking, unfortunately, you know, the group breaking industry, that is something that really controls pricing more than the manufacturers do, in my opinion. A lot of people will blame the manufacturers for high prices of products like Prism Football or Optic Football, but it's really that breaker demand or the people that are buying into those breaks that's causing the prices to be what they are. So now that'll continue to help these products get sold and for singles to be available for those that want them. But it does, group breaking, something that I don't think Magic has too much of. It creates an irrational system almost where you're hiding or masking flaws in product quality. And I don't know if there's a solution for that. I don't think that breaking can go away. I don't think it should. I don't know if it would be feasible for it to, I mean, you've got little breakers, medium breakers, big breakers, you've got whatnot. It's almost like Uber, just like the consumer wants it so much that it really can't go away. It's too strong at this point. And I don't know if I would want it to go away either. But unfortunately, that's allowing prices to get to a point where in a true free market, people would be more rational in making decisions based on what products they wanted for different reasons. They'd be using more logic and dismissing, avoiding, or in their head discounting the value of products for having some quality concern issues. Quality could be production quality. It could be, you know, not enough value in this product. It could be sticker autographs, too many redemptions. But unfortunately, prices are kind of controlled by that secondary aspect of the hobby, which is the breakers. So I don't know if there's a way to fix that, and that's gonna be on Fanatics. But that's it, guys. Filmington out.